Hi guys, something a little different today. I'm going to say, hey, welcome to Flat Track Friday. Kevin, sorry I have to make a play on some of your words here, but it's a good definition, good way to introduce, and I appreciate you hopefully letting me borrow your words a little bit. Uh, this was something that I've been planning to do for a while. I bought this in 1972. It's a Yamaha 360 MX 1972 engine, and I believe it's a Champion frame. It may be a Trackmaster. I can't remember. If anybody's familiar with these frames and can enlighten me a little bit of what this one is, I would appreciate it. It's just been too much water under the bridge. It's been laying in the barn forever, and I need to get it cleaned up, running, and down the road. I've held on to it way too long, and I can't do any of this competitive racing anymore. And I don't even know how competitive this would be anymore. It's it was a pretty much a hot shot in the day, but of course it's about 90% of it's rider anyway. So anyway, this was inspired by Frank Dillon a little bit. I was conversing with him a little bit on my comment section on YouTube, and he talked about how he'd just completed a bike he had been working on to make it look like an old TT bike that he used to ride. And I used to do a lot of short track, half mile, mile, and TT racing back in my youth. And I've raced from Texas to South Dakota over the years, and never was any a pro or anything like that. But I had a lot of fun doing it and won some trophies along the way. So anyway, again, I'm going to steal something from Kevin just a little bit and say this is a first look. I'm not going to be able to start it, and I'll show you why. Let me get you handheld here, and I'll get you around the bike. Okay, these things were pretty special in their day. Up front here, the forks, the rake is adjustable with these different plates for like short track, half mile, and mile. You can stretch out your rake to give you more stability. This one, it's in probably some dire need of some new forks, and I've got them laying right here. These will be an upgrade actually to what's on here. Both wheels on here are 19-inch 419s. Got an Eagle on the back, Goodyear, and I believe the front one's Carlisle. Those were the last ones I raced on. On the other side here, I've got a compression release that it was broke. I've got a new one or another one down here, and a new cable, so I'll be repairing that. Here's why I can't start it. I'm an old man, and you have to push start them. This was plugged back in the day. It's never had a Kickstarter on it since I've had it. But one thing that I did do, because I knew that I couldn't go out and push this thing and start it anymore, I bought everything for a Yamaha 360 for the Kickstarter. I don't know how it's going to fit on there or anything. I do know that some of the bikes back in the day did have them, but for the most part they were push starters just like this. And this is back in the early 70s. They made these so you had the shift shaft come out the right side. So you've got the brake and the shifter on the right side, and right now I've got the the brakes disconnected down here too. It's one rear disc brake, nothing on the front. Spool up front. I've got all the brake components here. They're little Hurst Earhart setup, and I can't remember why I took it apart. I think it was leaking real bad, and I just took it apart and put it in a box, and I've got it back out, and I actually have some new line too. So, you know, this is not going to be a total restoration. I think I'll probably paint it. Originally, it was the Yamaha yellow with the bumblebee stripe on the side of it, and the same paint scheme on the tail. So I may go back to that. It really needs to be freshened up, cleaned up and freshened up. So I'll probably do that, put some new number plates on it. I don't know how much I'm going to get into the engine. There was nothing wrong with it when I put it up. What I'll probably do is pull the cylinder off and just look at it, maybe stick a new set of rings in it, and check the clutch out and everything, and just press on. But since I've had it, I don't think I've ever had the engine out of the frame, if I can remember. I'm sure that I've put a set of rings or two, and I may have done an overbore on it. It's been too many years ago that I was doing this, and I just can't remember. But we're gonna together kind of go over it and take a peek at everything. And I just thought, well, Frank brought it up. He says, why don't you just put that in your shop and let everybody see it, and get their little hit of going fast memorabilia here. So that's what I did. I thought, well, that's a good idea. So we'll give everybody a peek at it, and then we'll do a little work with it. So I can't spend a lot of time on it because I got other stuff going on, but I am gonna, this bike and the Yamaha 175 are mine. So those two bikes I'll be working on just when I have time to work on them. Or if sometimes you just get tired of one of the others that you want to move on a little bit. So anyhow, this is the first look of it. It was a beast in the day. A lot of two-stroke power. It's actually not the lightest thing in the world. I'm not real sure what it weighs, but it probably weighs about as much as an original 360 Yamaha Enduro does. It seems like the frame's kind of heavy to me. I told Frank I thought it was a Trackmaster, but I think it's a Champion. So, like I said, if anybody knows these frames, there is a serial number on it, but it's I think it just says 01360 or something like that. There's no name. I'll have to look again. Oh, here it is right here. 3601. That's all I've got. Anyhow, I just thought I'd give everybody a sneak peek at this. It's like I say, I don't think I'm going to be breaking wheels down or anything like that. I'll probably pull the engine out, check out the cylinder, check out the clutch. Won't be tearing things down, I don't think. I'll probably do a pressure test or a pressure / vacuum test on it to make sure the seals are good. If I got a problem there, I'll deal with that. But as far as I know, everything should be okay. But yet it's been setting since probably, I got to say, 75. So there could be a lot wrong with it just from setting. But we'll take a look at it, and I'll take you guys along. And thanks, Frank, for giving me a subject matter for a short video here. I didn't even think about doing that. There may be a lot of people out there that are familiar with this, and some of them that aren't. I still watch a lot of flat track, and I go to them when I get a chance. The bikes these days are more production bikes, it seems like. I'm sure they're modified, but a lot of them, they're running on flat tracks. They're running high fenders on the front and that sort of stuff. So I'm not sure whether the rules have changed or whether this is just how they have to run them anymore. I don't know. But this is how it was done back in the day, and even a little bit earlier than this bike here, there were no brakes on them at all. Compression release was your only brake on a two-stroke, and that's primarily what we used racing in the day that I was doing it. You go into the corners with your compression release pulled, and it's enough to lock your wheel up. So really, the rear brake on here is just for kind of getting stopped on the line and driving around the pits or whatever you had to do. It wasn't really used that much in the actual racing. Anyhow, thanks for going along on the ride, and I hope it's a good one here, because we're going to see how this thing is, what kind of shape it's in, and clean it up a little bit and maybe freshen the paint. See you next video.